We are met in a tavern. This is a very classic opening to D&D campaigns because we're playing Ghosts of Saltmarsh. And for those of you unaware of what this module is, this is like this was produced in 1981, The Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. So this is an old school D&D module that has been revamped for the modern era. And I think there's no better place to begin than in kind of the quintessential tavern. There have been posters up around town advertising the need for adventurers offering to pay you coin and potentially to get your feet wet in the world of adventuring. Saltmarsh it's an interesting town. I'm going to say it's located in Faerun between Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate, we'll say. I'm transposing the location into the Forgotten Realms. And this is a fishing village. This is a village with a difficult population. And we'll learn a little bit more about that. But right now I want to know about your characters. So it's maybe a foggy night. I'm picturing this like dense fog rolling in off of the ocean into the docks of Saltmarsh. And the tavern in which we are sat, it kind of shifts a little bit underfoot. It's built directly onto the docks. And so it's populated with a standard crew of sea dogs and sailors and manned by barmaids and the tavern folk that don't like to put up with bullshit. And the three of you enter, or maybe you've been here all afternoon waiting for the chance to meet up with this benefactor, someone who's going to give you a job. So I'd like to meet your characters. Let me know a little bit about who you're going to be playing and who you are.
In the corner of the bar. What's the name of the bar, by the way?
The name of the bar is the...
It's always the...
of course. It needs a definite article. It's the Bouncing Barnacle.
Okay. This is a tavern too, or?
This is a tavern.
Cool. Sorry, an inn, I should say. Is it an inn too, or just a tavern?
Why not? Yeah, it's got a couple of rooms that are upstairs.
Cool.
But nothing you're going to be terribly excited to stay in.
In the darkest corner of this large area of the Bouncing Barnacle, you see a small halfling woman. She sits with her hood up like this in the corner. Sort of nervously, she paws at one of the flyers. She sort of just runs the ink from her hand. She's nervously watching as people walk through the door, looking for someone to connect with. This is Talia Gambaro, a halfling rogue. She sort of looks nervously around. She has a dartingness to her eyes that seems out of place compared to the stoic, seaworthy people that surround her. And she sits alone, unfamiliar with everyone, except the bartender, who sort of raises an eyebrow and she nervously nods and continues watching the door. Talia has a room paid for in this inn for no more than last night, and she is desperate to make a little bit more coin should she be thrown out, without a place in the world, without anywhere to go to come from. Yeah, and is her backstory I'll reveal when we meet other people, but she sort of is waiting for any other adventurer who might be brandishing this. And as she looks, she sees someone walk through the door who's also holding that same flyer, Need for Adventurers.
Who comes in? Sorry?
The bar and the tavern. It's not his first time here. He's been here many times. He walks in and he greets someone warmly at the door, shaking hands. Obviously... an old friend of his. They've sailed together a few times, doing random acts around the place, fishing and so on. Rana is actually from this town. He was born, he is a Triton, so a little bit different. You can see he's got blue complexion in his skin, and he's got a green tinge to his hair. Now the green tinge he tries to hide a little bit because he's actually rubbed in some soot and some charcoal to try to hide it, because he's a little, often sometimes looks superstitiously, not very positively around here. Happened for Rana was when he was young, a diplomatic exchange was made between his village just offshore, deep in the depth of the waters, and this fishing village. They exchanged noble class children in order to try to build diplomatic relationships between the two. That being said, it was a tough upbringing, but he did learn kind of the seafaring type life, and he's been working fishing and different things. But when he got older, he did return to the sea, and he returned to his people, the Triton, and he realized his important history, and he's very proud of who he is now. But he still has a hard time trying to integrate those two sides of his life. So Rana, when he's on the surface, he's very eager to greet people and meet the people of the village, and he greets someone warmly, walks over, and orders a pint at the bar. And he says, "Hey, what's the barkeep's name?"
Oh God, barkeep's name is Bruno Lothran.
Bruno, how are you? I'm glad to see you. May I get a pint? I'm feeling very positive today, and I want to celebrate.
Oh, of course, Rana. Just a minute. I've got your favorite tankard right here. He pulls out it's like a cutely painted blue wooden tankard that's got like a little dolphin tail for a.
You can tell that Bruno's trying to, make fun of me a little bit, but not today. It's not going to work. And I go, "Thank you. That is my favorite mug." And I sit and I put my feet up and I relax at the bar and I smile at some of the other patrons as I take a long sip of the drink.
Just looking around, grinning wildly at the patrons.
Just a happy person in his town.
Good.
Talia is like nervous to approach. She sort of takes a half step up and walks as another figure enters the front.
Yes, entering the front, you guys see the doors open and you look at eye level. And then you have to adjust your gaze like 2 feet down as you all see a nice, wonderful old gnome walk into the bar. And he has a wonderful blue knit cap, and he has all of this silver hair flowing out from underneath it. It almost looks slick and wet. And then you see probably his favorite and most prominent feature, which is his wonderful beard that goes down a full foot, which is just about a third of his body length. And he has these extraordinarily wide eyes, almost supernaturally wide. The corneas, right? Yeah, sure. Corneas are like extended a bit more. There's not a lot of iris around, so it's mostly like a wide eye, very used to like seeing things in the dark. And anybody who is native of this town knows that he is a very prominent astronomer.
What's the name?
I am so glad you asked. I am going to be playing formerly known as Urangafra. Oh, sorry. Oh man, it's a wonderful name. Formerly known as Urinographill. Yeah.
Perfect.
Do you have a short form like Phil,
Yuri.
or is it urine?
So that's the thing, right? Like gnomes have tons of names, and so he is a urinographer, which is someone who studies the stars. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. So people call him urinographil. Oh man, I should have picked less of a tongue twister.
Nope, this
but
is
yeah,
perfect.
He'll
Don't
go by
change a
Phil.
thing.
He'll go by urine. That's kind of like part of his old life, and he's looking to move past that and find a new name. But he doesn't know what that name is going to be. He doesn't know what he's doing yet. So anytime people call him by his old name, urinographil, he's like, I mean, not anymore, but like formally known, yeah.
Cool.
I think Talia, sort of looking between the two, is really impressed and sort of more in awe of the gnome, but probably a little bit more intimidated. He looks so complex and sort of savvy to this world that she sort of looks towards him and then looks towards the man at the bar, and I think she's gonna like shyly walk across the bar. She pulls her bag up to her side. She has this big bulging bag, almost half the size of her, and she hops up on a stool, more like clambers up, like awkwardly, and she sits next to Rona, and she sort of at first doesn't really make eye contact, and then just sort of talks to him. You look like you're used to some adventure? I see you've got the thing in your hand.
I think every day is an adventure, depending on how you look at it. Hi, how are you?
Hi, great. My name's Talia. What's your name?
Rana. Nice to meet you, Talia.
Nice to meet you.
I see you. Do I notice the flyer that you're holding?
Yeah, it's like all twisted and it's like real crumpled. It's so clear that she's nervous and like twisting it.
Why? I think you're here for the same reason I am, and I show her the flyer that I'm carrying.
Oh, yes, I yes, so I would love to maybe team up. I don't know what they need help with, but and you were holding the flyer too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and she sort of leans back, sort of too awkward and nervous to make direct contact with the guy, but she leans forward to Ronan's like, and I think the gentleman who just walked to the front door, maybe he's also looking for some work, and maybe we could all team up or be friends or something. I don't know.
I do hope so. He has a magnificent beard.
And
I walk over directly to the gnome. And I say, my friend, I think you're here for the same reason we are. And I gesture to Talia at the bar and I say, come join us. I think we have lots to talk about.
Yes, I believe we do.
And I'm happy with the candor of the gnome. And I gesture to the bar and I ask Bruno for another couple pints for my new friends.
And Talia stands up from the stool and like sits on the bar with her back to the bartender so that the stool she leaves open is for the gnome, so we can kind of sit in a triangle so she can be as close to the conversation without leaving anybody. And this way no one needs to sit on the outside when we talk about this. And she holds up, you can barely read it. It's so sweat ridden and like logged with all the ink that's run, and her hands are just black because of how many times she's turned it.
This parchment, though, is familiar to you if you've been around town for the past couple of days. It's been tacked up in local establishments, and you've seen a couple of the more intrepid village folk talk about it, or maybe they're clutching similar copies to their chests as eagerly as Talia, because this piece of paper promises the reward of gold, something that sometimes can be difficult to come by in Saltmarsh. It says, explore the secret of the old alchemist's house. Adventurers and ghost hunters wanted. By the laws of Tyr, evict all evil. Show up at the Bouncing Barnacle, blah, blah, blah. So you guys are here. You're all 5 minutes early.
Doesn't it just sound lovely? Ghosts and all that spookiness.
Well,
yes, otherworldly things are quite interesting. I'm excited to see if we can make contact with any of these beings.
Well, I don't know about interesting. I definitely think that if there are ghosts or anything evil around here, we should do our best to be rid of them. I mean, this is a good town, and we need to protect those who are more vulnerable.
Of course. Also, making contact. Like, sorry, what was your name? And she holds out her little ink stained pawn to the gnome again. Because I don't think they actually introduced each other.
Hi, I'm formally known as Urine Greffil. Urinographil.
My beard a little, or as I dribble some of my beard, some of my mead into my beard. Sorry, what was the name? One more time.
Did you say
formerly known as Urinographil?
Formerly.
Formerly, yes, formerly. You see, I'm a bit between names at the moment. I haven't quite found a new one. So my old name was Urinographil, but that doesn't really seem to fit me anymore. So I'm formally known as Urinographil now.
Well, maybe after this you'll be Urine Ghost Hunter or Urine. My name's Talia.
I mean, I do use the bathroom quite often.
Well, me too, but I wouldn't want to name myself after it. I wouldn't either, but names sort of find a person, you know, so if it is my destiny to be urine, then I guess I can. Oh, I like that. I think that's brilliant. Are you named after something too, Rona?
Actually, Rona is the only name I go by. I had a family name, but I unfortunately can't remember it.
I know that feeling. I only washed up here in the Bouncing Barnacle because of a bit of luck. See, I was following me dad when we left home, probably 8 years ago. We were taking a big ship across the ocean, and then we got attacked by some pirates, and I was the only one who lived. I swam to an island, and I stayed there for about 7 years. And then last week, a ship stopped by and I managed to bargain my way home. Captain was so nice, he paid for a room here for a few nights, but I need gold for another night and to see what the world's been like.
Well, if you are
7
keen,
years.
and if you're keen, you're in. I think if we work together, we can be successful. And I think we'll get the gold.
Yes, definitely. And I'm so excited to make friends. It's been a long time. I've been alone on the island with not much. And as she says that, she smacks her bag after like a pause. She's like, I've been alone for a long time. And there's like an awkward pause, and then she smacks her bag.
Just at that moment, the door to the tavern swings open in the evening wind and rain, and a figure walks in. He's got this greased, oiled raincoat just flapping in the wind, and then he heavily shuts the door and looks around the bar. Bruno hails him, "Oh, hi there, Father Oris." The holy man waves his arm and walks into a shadowy corner where there are no candles or lanterns. Very spooky.
Do you suppose that's the bloke we're supposed to meet about this? It's just like a blank page now. It's like so ink run.
Joe, do I have any knowledge about the father, the priest?
Yeah, this is absolutely the dude who wants to talk to you. You know that this is Father Oris Fallak.
Yeah, I've unfortunately he doesn't seem too fond of me, but that is Father Oryx, you said?
Oris. Orus, and thank you very much to Zia for that name. If you want to contribute NPC names that I will select at random throughout the course of this adventure, see the stream chat just below these unfathomable depths.
We should probably be. He's the one we need to talk to. I'll introduce us, and I walk over. I finish my beer, put it down, and I walk over to the darker corner of the tavern. I say, "Father," and I put the flyer down on the table. I think that you're the one we're looking for. We maybe you know about this, and we can be of service.
I love that you're this tall, dude. You're like what, 6'5" something?
I'm like tall, but I'm not huge. I'm like 5'9", so
You're a giant among us.
And I'm 3 foot something. And how tall are you?
He's about 3 foot
You're
even.
3'2".
Yeah, and I'm 3'2" as well. That's
Aww.
funny.
Hey!
We're the exact same height. So like you're this like entourage of tiny little
the reverse entourage.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, Father Oris, as you approach the table, he's sort of unscrewing a thermos just below the rim of the table. And as you approach, you see that he's putting something from a flask into his thermos of tea at the table. He's kind of a cheap guy. It doesn't intend to pay for anything here. And he looks up at you. "Oh, yes, hello there, Rana. Oh, are you here about the flyer? Okay,
Yeah.
well."
I am this time about the flyer. I don't mean to debate theology with you tonight.
Nor do I intend to really tolerate your unending questions. I am a man of the faith, but I do have boundaries. Anyway, yes.
No, none of those conversations tonight. We're here strictly on business. I would like you to introduce some new people to the town. This is Talia.
Hello.
She's also interested. And this is my new friend who we're not going to name as of yet, but he's keen for the adventure as well.
Good to see you, Father.
Well, good to meet you, I'm sure. It's good that there are a couple of you here. I'm sure that this mission will take all of your wits. Surely, Rana, you know of the house of which this poster is referring to. And indeed, as a man who has some history here in Saltmarsh, you are at least passingly familiar with the haunted house. It's
also, I think with the divine sense that I have as a paladin, I would probably have a more in tuned feeling if there's something not right about a place in the town. And so even before the flyer, I could probably sense maybe, I don't know, Joe.
That's the house that smells like farts. We don't go near it.
Yeah, people usually don't go near this house, so I don't think you've ever been out yourself. It's not in the town proper, so you would have required to trek out there. But for nearly 2 decades, this haunted house has sat with an ill reputation festering. People say that it's haunted, essentially. And Father Oris does nothing to dissuade you of this reputation. It cannot stand, finally. This unholy place must be cleansed. So close to civilization. So close to this good city. And so, I think it is Tyr's will, finally, that I make it so that this place can finally be put to rest.
Father, what would you have us do? I mean, I'm new to business aside from just the mariner's life, but I'm keen to be a positive guardian for this town and for the ocean in our harbor, but I've never done something like this before. Can you give us some guidance, something that would help us in this quest to protect this town?
Yes, is there anything you know about maybe the history of the house that could help us maybe figure out exactly what might be spoken it? This gnome fella friend seems to know a lot about the afterlife. At least he seems spooky.
Well, the previous occupant was an alchemist some 20 years ago. And after that creature passed away, the house was moved into by foul ghosts and evil creatures. So, I need you to go to the home, retrieve any academically significant tomes, any kind of religious texts that you might find, and bring them to me. As for the loot, quote unquote, in the house, the gold and trinkets and whatnot, you're free to do with it as you will.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound too bad, she says, and sort of looks towards the other two like...
So you just want us to go and get you some books?
Yes, and for any of the evil creatures that may be residing, I trust that you will dispatch them and cleanse the home.
I slam
Excellent.
the table with my fist and say, absolutely.
I mean, unless they're
I'm
really
in.
powerful.
Marvelous.
I mean, if you look at it, me and stacked on top of you or vice versa, plus him, we're almost 12 feet.
You and I at least could get into an R-rated movie with a trench coat.
Yeah. Go get into one of them nudie plays.
Well, thank you, Father Oris. It was wonderful to meet you, and I will let you know when it's done. And she immediately turns to the other two boys and like wraps her arm around the gnome and wraps her arm around the leg of Rona. And she's like, boys, I think we have a real opportunity here to make a little bit of money. And I don't call myself a greedy person, but I definitely need to pay off my tab. Like I says, I don't have a place to sleep tonight if I don't make a little bit of gold. And I'm happy to call you two friends, the first friends I've had in a long time. And then she smacks her bag again. What do you say we go scout out the house and maybe get a little bit of fun adventuring?
Can I ask, is the bag giving off a weird aroma or anything like that? Is there anything peculiar about the bag that's, I don't know, weird thing? Like every time she mentions friend, she smacks the bag. I expect something to be
I don't think
there.
I don't think it would smell like anything now.
Okay. All right. Just out of curiosity.
I mean, depends on how adept your smell is, I suppose.
Did you want to roll perception?
I definitely do.
Make a smell check.
Yeah. Let me do this. Here we
Harlan, I'll let you set the DC. Only you know how smelly this bag is.
go. Natural 20.
Hey!
Jeez.
Well, you know what I would say? I would say it's not even that you smell it, but it's like open a little bit, and you see within the crack of this, it's sort of like this small little halfling duffel bag. You just see the white of like bone, like very clearly. You see the white of bone.
Sun bleached.
Yeah, sun bleached bone.
Good. This bodes well.
The
So
paladin's
excited.
bones in the bag of the.
Yeah.
Great.
But she still hasn't like unwrapped. She's like, Well, what do you say? Urine, you could get a new name. House
Yes,
cleaner.
I would like that. A new name is the first step to a new adventure, right? Right? I don't know. I've never done the adventure thing before. Am I doing it right?
I've never done the adventure thing before either. She hits her.
And I think we both turn over to Rona, me with the giant eyes, 1,000-mile stare, just looking directly at you.
I'm definitely looking from one to the other.
Is
Yeah,
it?
and Talia, just to clarify, Talia's got like a bit of a crazy stare. Like it's a bit like it's really
God.
exuberant and emphatic, but it's also like the eyes sort of see like they're staring right past you.
We got two short, crazy fools. love it.
Harlan and I might have similar play styles, is what
It's
I'm
very
wondering.
good. It's very good, and I'm very happy about it.
It'd be great.
Is it Rona or Rana?
It is Rana, but I'm not going to correct him. I'm
Good.
not going to correct her. I'm going to go with Rona because it
Rana,
doesn't bother me too much.
With
Because
that
we're-
natural 20 perception, as your eyes slide over this strangely colored object inside of Talia's bag, you also notice that there's a kind of a grizzled old man who's watching the three of you apprehensively over his drink in another different poorly lit corner of this slightly shifting tavern.
I look back and forth between my two peculiar little friends, and I kind of give a little audible sigh, almost implying I'm not sure what I'm getting myself into, but if these are souls that need support, then that is the calling that I will have, and I will provide it for them. I say, I think we were intended to work together, and I say that person over there is kind of giving us a little bit of the eyeball, the hairy eyeball. Perhaps we should go and request a conversation with them. And I push through them, and I walk towards the person.
Great.
Hello there, stranger. I don't believe we've met. And I put a hand out. My name is Rana, and I intend to take care of this town. Hello.
Hi there. My name is Old Uncle Richie.
Sorry, old Donka Richie?
Old Uncle Richie.
Uncle
I'm a
Rich.
kind of a town uncle. I'm surprised you don't know me.
Me too,
It's
now.
kind of strange.
But you sound lovely, and like Talia's like right beside, like on the other side of him, like on the other side of the bench type thing. She's just like sitting there, like looking. You sound fun.
Yes.
Did you need another drink, Uncle? I'd be happy to buy one for family.
His eyes sparkle with delight. Oh, well, I wouldn't say no to a sherry. That's very
Okay.
kind of ye.
Of
Oh, thank
course,
you.
I've never met my uncle before, so this is a very wonderful introduction.
High five, little one.
We noticed that you were looking at us. Is there a reason you were staring?
No, not so much. You cut a strange crew, the three of ye in this bar.
Well, you look out of place too, in a sandy desert.
What?
Well, you fit in this environment, but if you were in a desert, you'd stand out too.
So 'tis. Yes. Right. Well,
Can I roll insight on him?
please do, yeah.
And while she's doing that, I'm going over to the bar. I would like one sherry, please.
All
Do you know
right.
where I could find her?
He Bruno pours like a little egg cup's worth of ruby colored liquid into this egg cup, actually. It's got a picture of it's like an Easter egg.
I love the idea that the Bouncing Barnacle sells drinks in shells.
All
sometimes,
of their
too.
glassware is
A
like
big shell.
very kitschy.
Well, you know, like how a drinking
it.
horn is like out in the plains.
Ah, yeah,
type
yeah, yeah.
stuff? It's like these are like it's a giant conch.
It's like a turtle shell.
That's that's.
Like a turtle's egg shell.
I rolled a 12, by the way.
Great. Yeah. So he passes you this little baby glass of sherry. And as you come back to the table, you watch Talia size up old Uncle Richie. And Talia, it occurs to you that old Uncle Richie is his eyes keep darting down to the paper that you hold in your hands.
And I sort of nod to Rana, and I sort of gesture to the paper, and then she says, "Are you interested in the job as well? Because we did just take it."
No, I wouldn't go out to that house if you paid me 30 gold.
Ah, so there's something you know about not wanting to go there. Is it dangerous?
He looks pretty closed off, but then Uranographil, formerly known as Uranographil, shows up at the table with the sherry, slides it across, he downs it in one quaff, wipes a dirty hand across his lips. Well, yes, I've been there. Terrifying place.
What did you see?
I was in the business of poaching back in those days. This was maybe 2 years ago. And, well, I wandered in through one of the doors, one of the back ones. I was looking for some food. I'm not typically the kind of person who would steal random things from a home, but I was under the impression that maybe these ghost stories were just that, stories. Not so, my friends. He drains like the last little tiny drop of sherry into his mouth, looks down sorrowfully into the empty egg cup, and then continues. I saw that there was a wine cellar, and so I was encouraged by the thought of some fire water to fortify me for the weather back. I didn't see anything terribly interesting on the main floor of this place. And as I descended down into the darkness looking for wine, I heard ghastly shrieks and wails, and I ran. I'm ashamed to say it, frightened out of my wits.
Did you notice any other ways out or in when you went down there? Talia looks sort of off-put, but not scared. Just sort of like, I don't know, almost like it's too close to home.
Also, I'm looking at Uncle, and I'm trying to size him up as just a superstitious sailor, or if there's something behind this. I mean, I look at him, is he wearing green, or is he, does he have any of the other superstitions that I'm aware of? Is he definitely a sailor? Does he have salt on his clothes?
He's rhymed in salt, but he doesn't look like he's been at sea recently. He's just kind of a dirty guy. He looks... Roll insight for me.
Yeah. And I'm also looking at the way he drank the alcohol.
Yeah, he's...
When you were down there, did you find any libations? My insight roll was 19.
The way he talks when he's speaking of this place, he truly is ashamed of his reaction to having run from the mansion, but he looks truly terrified. And the way that he looks down into this empty cup is regretful.
Other ways out, I asked about.
Courage that we're going to go and do good and rid this town of the evil that plagues this building.
I wish ye well. I truly do. As to your question, young miss, there's a front door and a back door, and that's all I saw.
Well, we wouldn't take it, and it wouldn't pay if it wasn't a little bit dangerous, but I think that we could do it. And you don't have to be afraid about being afraid, friend. Everyone gets a little scared now and then. Everybody. She hits her bag again. And it's nothing to be ashamed about. I'd say we get a move on, because I'm excited to look at the house. What do you say, boys? And she hops down.
Yes, it was wonderful meeting you, Uncle Richie. Have a good time.
And you as well, little miss. Good luck.
Nomi, you don't have any extra gold, do you? You just bought that guy a drink. I wouldn't mind if maybe I could borrow a little bit and give some back to you, because I need a place to stay tonight. And I figure we're talking about this as we're like walking out the front door. Mm-hmm. At least I'm walking with the gnome.
Yeah, as I walk to the front door, I pick up my shield and my sword that I had leaned down, and I doff it, and then I don it, I guess, not doff it. And
you take it off a second time.
So I followed the other two out, eager to get started on my first fledgling adventure on our own.
Beautiful.
So I think I would like to rewind a little bit of the day. Let's pretend that happened all in the morning. Maybe it seemed like evening because of how cloudy it was.
Well,
Super
how much drinking too.
drinking happens in the morning
Day
a lot
was
here.
dark in my eyes.
Because I don't want to have to worry about you guys dealing with like dark vision and all that crap in this house, on top of how terribly deadly it will surely be for the three of you.
Ruh-roh.
Additionally, this boxed text is designed for a daytime travel.
And you don't want to redo it on the
Here
fly.
we go. The road to the house winds through the rocky coastal terrain, often offering you a view of the sea below. Low clouds press upon you. Occasional patches of sunlight appear out over the water. A stiff wind blows in off the waves, carrying the briny stink of churning salt water. So you make your way up the coast. You head 4 miles out from Saltmarsh. So it takes you a good 2 hours or so travel at a very leisurely pace. Sort of wander together, the three of you.
Yeah, and like Talia is hopping up on rocks and like walking along stone walls and just like talking the entire time about sort of like her what she's done the past few days. She'd be like, and then I saw a nice little fish shop, but I don't think they had enough fish for everybody because people are out front trying to get in. And it's so clear that she's really been out of touch with the world for the last 7 years, because half of what she's talking about are sort of like clarifications and questions. And she's kind of like, was that rude when I asked you for a little bit of money, gnome? I didn't mean to do that. I'm just trying to understand how I can pay my next work if I die in the house. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter, would it?
Oh no, it was perfectly normal. As you said, we are friends, and friends ask friends for things. I was only pausing because I don't know how much money I have, and I was trying to look it up. As he like sits there with his coin pouch and it's just open, and he's like, I don't know where to begin with this.
That's awesome.
Wonderful. That's beautiful. And what about you, Rana? Do you live around here, or are you just traveling through?
As we're walking, occasionally you'll notice Rana stop and almost look like he's trying to lift himself up, because he forgets sometimes that he can't swim up when he's on the land. Oh, yes, that's right. And he, I am actually from around here, offshore, not far. My town is there. Yeah, we're an important part of the ecosystem here, and we protect this town.
Well,
so
that's wonderful. So
Urine and I are an important part of the ecosystem too now, because we're gonna slay ghosts, she says, and just starts like brandishing her short sword off to the side.
So you live under the waves?
I have part of my life, yes, and I can tell you it's
fascinating.
It's beautiful to see, both parts of our world. It's too bad more of my kind don't spend the time above the sea also.
It is an equal shame that we are unable to spend our time below it.
Well, perhaps
I'm sure it is.
Together, I can take you to my city. It is beautiful.
Shh, that's rude, she says, and punches her bag.
Oh, is it rude to accept? I would love to go.
I would love to go too. I think that'd be lovely. We can all go together.
Yes, it would be wonderful. Yes. This is.
Can you hold your breath for a long time?
I could try.
Here, try breathing through this, and I hand them my flask of water. I say, "Can you breathe through this?"
And Talia just starts choking.
All right.
I didn't think so.
She just waterboards
like
herself.
I look at it, I smell it. No.
Well, perhaps
I tried, but my lungs just got filled with water. It kind of hurts now.
Perhaps it's not in our cards as of yet, but maybe one day. I
So
hear there are spellcasters out there that can provide that ability.
And with that, the three of you come upon this spooky house, which I will describe thusly. The decrepit house sits on the highest ground in the area. Around it, A stone wall has crumbled in many places, exposing the interior grounds. An ornate metal gate lies open at the end of the road, swaying slightly in the wind. Wild flora grows throughout the inner yard, but all the years cannot hide the evidence of a well-tended garden that once sat there. Near the house, the rotted wooden roof of a water well rises out of the tall grass. So the three of you are standing at this gate that stands open. And like I said, there's this crumbled stone wall that encompasses the inner grounds that are kind of a rambling accumulation of just weeds. It's all overgrown. And yeah, there's a well, there's a garden, definitely nothing lurking in any of these places. To the south of the house, the southern wall of the house has this main door, looks like, and then the well is on the northeast side.
And as Rana and Urin are sort of looking at this house, Talia just sort of walks in from the side, and she's like holding 2 dead fish, and she hands one to the gnome, and she hands one to Rana, and pulls out another one for herself and just starts eating away like kind of an afternoon snack. And I'm gonna use my class feature, which is Wanderer, where I can find food and fresh water for myself and up to 5 other people every day. So I feel like she just kind of went over to a stream and like plucked out some fish to like eat while we're thinking.
Great, you do that. You have a handful of fish.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wonderful.
Do we want to go in the front door, or do we want to go in the back door?
I think I'm going to take the opportunity to do divine sense good or evil once per day. I don't know how directed I can do this, Joe. Are you familiar?
Okay. Why don't you read me the text of the spell or
for sure.
ability?
I have it ready right here. Divine.
You seem entirely prepared.
I am. It's on my character sheet. That's as far as I remember. Okay.
Perfect.
There we go. I'm almost there. I'm so ready. All right. So you were. No, that's not it at all. So I don't know, which door should we go
Talia runs through the front door while he's looking up. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, that
okay, so 60
Uncle
feet
said,
away.
Oh.
That's not behind total cover. I can pick out the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. So
anything in the house it wouldn't pick then, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
Let's wait.
So we'll say, I think we should go around the back. Uncle at the bar said he did, and he seemed to get out all right. So logic would dictate.
He is alive.
100% of the people, 100% of the people that we know that went in the back door are fine.
So I just love the idea of you guys all standing like at the gate of this house, just like shooting off all your spells and abilities before you even go.
No, the Wanderer is like a nothing feat.
I know,
It's
but I
like
think
super.
if Chris was using his like paladin ability, just cracks me up.
not.
So you guys sort of like essentially walk the perimeter of this stone wall to kind of gain sight of all of the house first, maybe to see where these entrances are.
Yeah, keeping an adequate distance, because I don't know about you guys.
Apothecary, right? So the garden is probably like
Alchemist.
An alchemist.
Meta though, and this is an important conversation to have. What are we packing? Because I have 0 range. Because I always play range, I went opposite. So I am only a close range fighter. What about you guys?
I have javelins, but I tend to use longsword and shield.
Okay, so we have 2
Yep,
close.
I have a crossbow.
Are you?
I have other stuff, but I have a crossbow.
And
Well,
you
you're a
have,
warlock anyway, so you're.
Yeah,
you got
I'm-
some
yeah.
cantrips, right?
I do. I got some ranged boys in the
Eldritch
barrel.
Blast.
I do.
Every
I do have
warlock's
Eldritch
best
Blast.
friend.
All you need to do.
I felt weird picking it because all I hear is like, yeah, warlocks use Eldritch Blast, and then I read through them and I'm like, well, yeah, of course they do.
Why wouldn't you do that? No,
so
it's great.
funny. Okay, good to know.
So the three of you talk about the cool weapons and abilities that you have as you circle the exterior of this place looking for the best way in. And it appears that Uncle, what's his name? I didn't keep track of this.
Old Uncle Richie.
Richie.
Correct. Thank you. You both get inspiration.
Yay. Real?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. She's being so frivolous this game. We're going to win.
None for you, Chris.
I would have said something, but I'm muting myself because of that, because of the grind. So I get one too.
You get inspiration because you got 2 beautiful daughters at home.
What does that say about my son?
He's not here right now.
He's not beautiful.
He has 2 choices in the future, maybe? Hard choice.
Yeah, so you guys wander around this house talking about your skills and abilities, and you realize that maybe old Uncle Richie hadn't done the best job of recon on the place before choosing an entrance. So there's a front door on the south of this place. The northeast wall shows a side door, and then there's also a patio door on the northwest of the building, I guess, that sort of leads out to like this broken cobblestone patio.
Do any of them look particularly I think the back door still looks... Oh, I'm assuming the one to the south is the front door? Or is
one to the south is the front door, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
I'm leaning towards the back door, the northeast.
And again, this house is like 35 feet tall from ground level to roof peak. So there are 2 clear stories on this house. There are lots of windows. So whoever had owned this house while it was still in good repair was like fairly wealthy. There are a couple of different chimneys from the extruding from the roof. So you would assume at least a few fireplaces.
Do either of you, and again, meta-wise, do any of you have boosting spells, party spells, or are they all combat-oriented at this level? I've never played Paladins or Warlocks.
I don't have any like boons or anything like that. I don't have anything I can really...
Any buffs?
No
What is it,
guidance or anything
That's
like
wrong.
that. Okay.
I don't think so, no.
You said there was a well, Joe, right?
I did. I said it. And then
Northeast.
everyone in Discord was like, well. And I loved it.
Talia turns to the others and says, I'm going to approach. I can be pretty sneaky. So I'll go up and take a look. Why don't you guys stay here for a minute? And
Can I look in the well? Where's the well? And
It's on the map. You can see it. It's to the northeast
Oh,
back door.
okay. So are we going roughly? So I'll stand by the well while he does that.
Well,
Is that okay? Well,
yeah. As long as it's not too. Does it seem? I mean, if this is grid wise, I would say that's too close to the house right now. I wouldn't mind stealthing up first, just because
okay. Yeah. We'll hang on the east side of the building and just peer around.
Cool. You do that.
Cool. I can
So
roll.
Harlan, you're going to stealth up to the house?
Yeah, and just
or
look in a
I guess
window.
Talia will, and you're going to stay here in this room with me.
Well,
Why don't you roll a stealth for me?
perfect. That is going to be a 26.
Hell yeah.
Ah! You see
Dude.
Talia, and she's like, I guess I'll stealth, and then like
And
she's
Where's Talia?
fucking gone.
Yeah, she's totally gone. She's like, whew. And you see her. She's at the window, like waving silently. And I'm gonna look in the window of the back of the house.
Which window specifically?
So I'm going to do this one.
Great.
Sorry, I should say probably that one.
Yeah, because that one of them is a door.
Yeah.
So you look in the window that is just south of the door, adjacent to it, and you look in on a dark room.
I'm zoomed in on the map for everyone to see if you want to
to
reveal
see
it.
what you see in the window. Okay, cool. Yeah, you see a dark, small room. You see 2 stuffed armchairs and a fireplace. Seems like the chairs are kind of torn up. The upholstery's been sort of ripped with some of the stuffing pulled out. And there's a broken table in the room. It's pretty small. It's about maybe 10 feet wide by... It's hard to tell.
Did you want to reveal on the map or wait till we get in?
I'm going to wait till you get in.
And I turn around and mouth the words, "Someone in this house hated upholstery." and she looks back to the window. And
I knew there were people.
and I mean, I don't get... Can I roll just a general perception here just to see if anyone would be guarding this window? Or does it seem like this is a safe entrance?
There to go in through the window?
No. No. I was thinking the door.
So you see through the window that the door is... You don't see the door. The door that is adjacent to the window is opening into a different room than the window that you're looking
Ah,
in.
I see. Well, then maybe what I'll do is I'll just head around the north of the building real quick, and I'll look in the window to the north, assuming that this is one large room then.
Sure. So I'm going to roll over that stealth.
Yeah.
You look through the window to the north, and it is not one large room.
Ugh.
You are looking into what appears to be a scullery, perhaps. So as you peer through this dusty window, you have to kind of rub some of the grime off of the window pane. You are looking over a split, large copper cask, something that someone would have washed dishes in at one point. It's discolored and empty, and it's just underneath the window that you're looking in through. There's some broken crockery. Love that word. And then some stairs lead down into presumably a cellar.
Interesting.
But you don't see the door
Okay.
that would lead out.
And then before going back, I just test the window to see if it opens.
Yeah, why the hell not?
So
Yeah, you would need to kind of jimmy it open.
Yeah.
It's like the wood has expanded in the frame with all the moisture in the area, but you would be able to force it.
yeah, I think I'll do that. Just jimmy it open, grab a piece of wood from the ground and keep it open.
Sick.
And then I'll head back to the boys and just tell them, that window doesn't show that door, and neither does that one, but I think it might be a kitchen. So that could be a way in if we don't want to take the obvious door. But there is a set of stairs leading down to the cellar, and Uncle said that the cellar is where he heard the wails in the morning.
Yeah, that works for me. At the very least, he said there was wine down there.
Well, we don't want to go straight for the cellar. I suggest we clear the top floor first, and that way, if we go to the cellar and find something spooky, when we run back, we don't run into something also spooky that we didn't clear.
That sounds very rational.
Well, I had a lot of time on the island thinking about all the ways I would... Shh. What do you say, Rona?
I say everyone's calling me Merman now, Harlan.
I'm sorry, I said Triton.
Oh,
I
that's
fixed
funny.
it.
Is there in the town, is there ever the wells, do they ever have access to water in the underground or something like that? Is there something that I know of? Is there any sense that I would want to look at the well just because I do have the ability to go in the water? So
Chris,
well,
we're playing D&D. You can do whatever you want.
I want to check out the well first.
Cool.
But
So
I think we do clear the first floor, Talia. I think we do this systematically. If there's evil in this place, we need to get rid of it all.
I mean, you guys are having this conversation, but Talia is standing at the window.
No, I came back.
Okay, you went back.
Yeah.
Great.
So, all right, if you want to check the window, let's do it all together anyway. I mean, the well, sorry. Let's all go to the well. You can take a look, and then when that's clear, we'll go into the house. Agreed? 3, 2, 1. Best friends forever. No? Okay.
We'll get there. Don't worry, Talia.
I
You're
know we
already the longest friend I've had in a very long time.
Well, thank you.
So tell me a little bit about how you're interested in approaching this well. Do you just head over and look in, roll an investigation check sort of thing? Or are you stealthing over like Talia?
I'm not stealthing over. I
Great.
don't
You
think so.
run over heedlessly.
Yes. No, I walk over as if I am the most confident being that has ever walked this earth. And I walk
Good.
over.
Cherish that.
I do. I'm going to hold on to that until my spirit gets broken. And I look down and I have dark vision. So
Awesome. Roll a perception check for me, please.
Okay. 9.
9. As you look down into the well, you see that the well shaft descends about 20 feet and seems to contain some clean water, probably. You're not sure where it would come from, whether this is salt water that's just being drawn up by the home's proximity to the sea, or whether it's fresh water. You also see that there is a little glimmer of coin down at the bottom of the well. And as you look down into this well to try to discern if that's anything of substantial value, you are set upon by some poisonous snakes. Roll for initiative.
Oh, no.
Nice. Are they sea snakes, first of all?
No.
No,
They're-
they're S
They're well
snakes.
snakes.
They're
Oh,
well
well.
snakes.
Well, they're just on the ground outside the well?
No, they climb up out of the well and spring upon your friend in a surprise round.
Now, I technically didn't say that I was at the well, but I probably would have gone up with them, didn't I?
It's hard to truly know.
Well, if I'm being honest with myself, I did put my mini on the map, so I guess I'm there. But the gnome is still at the front door. So are we going by?
I don't know.
Did you come with us, Urine?
I mean, we've been following each other. I thought.
That's what I thought.
When
Yeah,
you
I
were
think we're all
checking the door and the well, I was like, I'll be like right
I
here.
think we're all at the well, but we're all a little bit behind Rana.
Good. All right, so we're rolling initiative. James, that's your initiative modifier, which should just be your dexterity on top of a d20 roll.
Yep.
Harlan, what'd you get?
Ba, 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 ba. I got a 20. Dirty 20.
Well, there you go. 20 for Talia.
Dirt twin.
What about formerly known as urinographical?
14.
I'm going with the gnome.
14. I'm going to FKAU. That's for cow.
Yeah. Maybe
Chris-
that's my new name.
It is for now. Chris, what'd Rana get?
4.
Awesome. That's
no.
it. That bodes super well for you.
Natural 5 though. Just so you know.
So
You
minus
have -1
one
to initiative?
My dexterity is poor.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
I just rolled a natural 20.
Oh, no.
Nice. Way to go, Snake. That snake is having a great day.
Oh, there's two of them. Don't worry.
Both snakes are having a great day.
These snakes both launch up out of the well, hissing at you. These terrible green snakes. They are medium sized, so they're of a size with you.
Oh, python.
Yeah, it's not great. And they're both going to try to bite you. The first one launches itself from the rim of the well and tries to sink its teeth into your bicep with you're going to like this, 22 to hit.
Oh, my God.
You know what? It hits.
Does
Weird,
it?
Right?
How many hit points do you have?
Less in a few moments.
Don't worry, you only take 6 piercing damage.
I think.
Well, I'll tell you what. I only have 12 hit points to start with.
But then I forgot to mention the poison damage.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
no.
I
Oh,
was
no.
afraid that it was only 6.
How much do you like your character, Chris?
Oh, so hold on. Do these animals breathe water? Like, can they breathe in the water? Do
Why?
they come out of the well?
They came out of the well.
The water.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to them.
Okay, but it might be hard for you to talk to them after you
unconscious.
take 11, 12, 13, 14 poison damage.
So you're
Well,
unconscious.
have a good night, Invictus Stream. It's been
Wow.
fun.
Wait,
Wow.
why don't you make a constitution saving throw for me?
Yeah, can't you save against poison?
What's that?
I said, why don't you make a constitution saving throw for me?
Okay, so 12 by Constitution modifier is +2, so 14.
Hey, you save, so you're only going to take half of that big bad poison damage.
All right, so you had said 11 points of poison.
I had said 14,
so 7.
so you take
I'm at
7.
-1.
Well, we don't go into minuses. You just
Right.
sit happily at 0, so you are unconscious and dying. And we get to talk about death saves.
Also, Chris, I don't think you could talk to these things. I know what you're going for, because you can talk to sea snakes that breathe water, but this would be fresh water because it's a well, not ocean water, which
I
would
can just
imply
talk to
sea
things that-
snakes.
I don't know. I can just talk to things that breathe water.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he's... I mean,
But
you
you're
can't
dead.
talk to anything right now because you're unconscious.
I can talk to my subconscious,
Great.
So take an
mostly
healing
in
spell.
symbols, symbolic.
So the other creature is going to probably just wrap itself around your body, and it's going to attack you. It'll auto hit.
How much room do you have in that bag of yours, Harlan?
Don't worry, you'll have friends soon.
So this other snake decides like, oh great, we're gonna make this one into dinner. And why don't you mark off a failure on your sheet for a death save, because that's what happens when you take damage and you're unconscious. So you've 1 failure so far in your saves versus death of the 3 possible before your character is put in the garbage.
Oh boy.
All right, Talia, what happens next?
Talia, with her stature and her personality, you expect her to like, oh, No, she doesn't give a fuck that her friend just went down. She pulls 2 short swords out of her back, which were like hidden by her cloak and hood, and she runs at the snake that just attacked her friend, and she is going to attack.
Don't forget, I gave you guys all
I know, and I'm going to use my
inspiration.
inspiration to roll with advantage on attack.
Please do. So you're going to attack, we'll call it the northern poisonous snake.
Yeah, and I'm going to be attacking with a dirty 20.
Hell yeah, you hit.
I am going to be attacking with my main sword, and I'm going to use my bonus action to attack with my offhand sword.
Marvelous.
Do I roll a separate attack for that?
You do, yes.
Okay.
But we'll deal with your on hand, and then we'll deal with your offhand.
Sure. And because I have a friendly within 5 feet, oh wait. If
No,
they're
he's unconscious.
incapacitated, shit. But what about the gnome?
How close is that gnome?
That's the question. Because if you're within 5 feet, I can do another.
As per the map, the gnome is not within 5 feet of any snake.
Yeah, damn. Okay. Bummer. So this will be 6 damage.
Nice.
And with my offhand, I will attack again.
Do
or
it.
I will attack at the same time. Because I imagine it's at the same time anyway. Yeah.
Roll to hit.
Oh, yeah. 23 to hit.
Easy sauce. How much damage?
And then that'll be... 1.
Oh, yeah,
damage.
because it's your offhand. You don't add your modifier.
I don't add anything to my
All right.
offhand.
7 damage is decent damage.
And then, if I stay here, I'm going to be attacked anyway. So if I move away, they'll get an attack of opportunity. But, you know, they're going to attack me next round anyway. Gnome, you're not going to kill this one in front of me, are you?
You never gnome.
Actually, you know what? I'll stay here and I'll say, Urine, take out this one. It's already bleeding. And I'm going to, referring to the one in front of me. Because the other one's wrapped around our friend anyway.
Yeah.
And that's my turn.
Cool. Canal.
Yes.
Wait.
I believe that is.
Cow. Yeah.
Cow. Yeah, of course. So I will move away from the snake that is on our good friend Rona.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go ahead and fire off an Eldritch Blast at Mr. Snakey Snake.
Marvelous.
Yes.
Roll to hit.
Yes. Doing that and adding stuff. It's not good. Well, I rolled a 3.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's enough addition in the world that can make that hit.
Not at this level.
Unfortunately not.
Not at
So
this level.
You've used your movement and your action, which that's about all you've got at this point.
Yes, I have a flow chart. I think that's it. I'm done.
All
We're
right.
good. We got this. Don't worry. It's fine.
Great. So the top of the round. Oh wait, Rana, this is important. Make a save against death. Roll a d20, add nothing to it. 10 or higher, you mark a success. 9 or lower, you mark a failure.
Okay.
You can do
A
this.
success.
Hey!
Great. So you have
Way
one
to
failure,
go.
one success. You cling to life for another round.
Cling is not the way I view it. It's
You're
more like-
clinging.
Your cling film to life.
for sure. We'll do my best.
The poison slows. It's coursing through your veins. It's the snake's turns. The snake that was just butchered by Talia turns its attention to you. Its reptile eyes regard you coolly, and it rears back and gets you with its fangs, or it tries to anyway.
Bring it on, you bastard.
That's not great. Is a 10 gonna hit you?
No. And she says, what's the matter? Got reptile dysfunction? Ha!
Just drop my dice.
That's
How
because
long
it
were you
was
still on
so...
that one for?
Well, it was right when she says this reptile. It sounded like erectile. And I was like, well,
Oh,
now I have a
good.
quip if it misses.
everything
And
a
a dying
penis to
line
you,
if I die.
Harlan? Excellent. So the other poisonous snake, which I guess would have been kind of on top of your mini, Chris, unravels itself from your cold body and rears back.
Commented about how confidently I walked over to the well. It's like,
I
Yeah.
look in the well.
The thing we
Walk
forgot
over.
about this, and she said at the beginning, is that this is an 80s adventure.
This is old school
80s
D&D.
D&D didn't give a fuck. They were like, poison damage level 1, deal with it.
quick, 2 more 14 and add more difficulty class.
Honestly, when you said it was an 80s adventure, I clenched a bit. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. I should have reminded you prior to putting your tokens on the map. However, the second poisonous snake attacks you, Talia, with its deadly fangs. That's probably going to hit you.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
All right. Here
I
we
could
go.
be dead. I have very few hit points as a halfling. This is all going to be on you, the gnome.
That's minimum damage, 5.
Okay.
Piercing.
Still pretty much dead.
No.
And then also the poison damage.
Yeah, I'm unconscious.
Cool. So Talia goes down.
What's the poison damage? There's almost no way.
I wonder if this could kill you outright. Make a Constitution saving throw. What's your maximum HP?
You know what? I'll roll it publicly. No, I'll take that, actually. It was better.
What?
Well, it's not great either. 14.
That saves.
Okay.
What's your maximum HP?
8.
So it's super dangerous at low levels because if you take double your maximum HP in one hit, that's auto death. You don't roll for saves. You don't do anything.
Right.
And I'm rolling.
We started with dire rats and moved our way up to snakes. So we start with dire rats next time, okay? Dire rats every time.
I'm gonna roll your poison damage here.
She's
Good
rolling
luck.
3d6.
I am. But you're having this damage, so you take 5 poison damage.
Well, I'm definitely unconscious.
Great. You're unconscious and dying.
Wow.
Here we go.
Oh, jeez.
Fakao! How do you feel about saving your party?
Do you mean do I want to, or do you think I can do it?
I think you can do it. These
I want
snakes
to. I
do
don't
not
know if
have
I
that
can
many
do
hit
it.
points.
You say that. Okay.
Maybe we find out why he's called urine and he just pees his pants at this point.
I'll just piss all over them and they'll run away. Urine is the natural predator of all well-born snakes. Thank you very much. Let's see. Well, we'll just go for it. We don't know what else to do, so
It's gonna be great.
It is gonna be great. I'm gonna move a little bit away. The snakes are scary at this point, and I understand that now. And I will fire off an Eldritch Blast at the one.
Remember, you have advantage. I gave you an inspiration, so
I would like to do that.
you can do it.
Yes, I do that then. And now I roll twice, right?
That's right.
Yeah, you take the higher.
Yay. 2 plus 4 is 6.
Oh my god. That's the higher?
Yeah, the other one was a natural 1.
Oh.
You rolled a 1 and a 2.
I rolled a 1 and a 2, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that, Lucas. We went from killing Nazis in a mall in the 80s to dying at the hands of snakes imagined in the 80s.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I'm going to just get rid of these dice and find some new dice.
Chris, you're muted, bud.
Yeah, Chris, we can't hear you. Sorry. I'm sure what you said was really, really good, though.
I said, is it possible we showed the wrong flyer to the priest? Like we grabbed the level.
Yeah. This is like
He's like,
level
this is a level 10 quest. There's little like
minimums.
red skulls above all of these.
Are you sure you're ready?
Okay, great. So
Is it great?
it's not great.
It's not great.
I skipped Talia, unfortunately, in the turn order. Talia, why don't you make a save against death for me?
I'll roll it on here. Here we go, Talia. 9.
So mark off a failure on your sheet there.
Yeah.
All right. Rana, it's your turn to make a death save.
You mean a life save?
That's right. You also have inspiration, Chris, so if you want to roll 2d20 and take the higher for a...
I don't think you
I
can use
rolled
inspiration
11,
for that save, can
so
you?
I'll
Yeah,
take
okay.
it.
Great. So you've got 2 successes. So, the snake's turns. I think they're motivated by trying to gather food for their well and also protect their territory. So they're going to create an aggressive display as they both charge you.
Hell yeah, do it. Knock me out. Let's all roll new characters.
Man, I mean, I don't want to just fucking...
You've met the real side of Joe. This is
Has
what
happened on the stream before, TPK?
At
No.
TPK? I don't think so.
because Joe's the only one who
TPK
does
session
it.
1. That's the way to do it.
I mean, here goes.
You. Oh,
All right,
wow.
that's a 3 on the dice, so 9 to hit you. How's your AC, my friend?
So close to 9. I'm really scared. That does not hit me though.
Okay, great. I mean, they have a +6, so it's not. I rolled a 19.
Oh,
Okay.
well, there we
Cool.
go.
All right.
Here we go.
It's gonna be 3 down.
That's 6 piercing damage,
Okay.
and then roll a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution +0. I rolled a 6.
Nope. So you take 9 poison damage, and you are knocked unconscious.
So how much did I take altogether? That was 9 and 6, right? So
yeah.
15.
That's right.
One away.
From
One
Okay,
away from
you know,
double
anything
damage.
about snakes, they eat one thing and they wait like 4 weeks to digest it. So
Well,
only
so
one
here's-
of us will be eaten, and the others will recover. in
Here's what
time.
I'm thinking. 24 hours go by. Rana, you are awoken with 1 hit point to your name to cool rain on your face. You feel the spatter of rain all over your body, and you realize that you're lying in this grass in this overgrown garden.
I sit up and I immediately look for snakes.
You don't see any snakes.
And then I turn to see my surroundings. Am I by myself? Or do I
No.
have a no?
There's the body of a halfling lies beside you in the grass. Oh, this is your friend, Talia.
I crawl over to Talia. Ugh. And I try to feel for air coming out of Talia's mouth.
Yeah, she's barely breathing. She's unconscious.
And I lay my hands upon her to heal. And I do my healing touch.
You
Cool.
healing?
Yeah, I lay hands
man.
on. So you heal 5 hit points. There you go. Did
My
you hear
bad.
me?
Yeah,
I
Talia.
can hear you.
You regain 5 hit points.
And Talia sits up, confused, as Harlan is. Why did the snakes leave us?
Because they were so full from their meal of rodents that they had previously eaten that they felt it unnecessary to eat you today.
Talia, thanks.
What deity do you worship,
Nothing.
Rana?
Oh,
I worship the ocean itself.
Okay, great. So no deity. That's interesting, paladin. Okay, so Rana, you got 1 hit point. Talia, you got 5 hit points.
And I look around. Do I see the other creature?
Yeah, it's super disorienting, having just sort of come out on the other side of being nearly poisoned to death and bitten to death. But you do see like a tiny gnome-shaped lump, maybe 20 feet away from you in the grass.
And I point so that Talia sees also, because actually Talia is doing significantly better than me now.
yeah. Talia
and
calls over to the. Well, I don't have healing though.
I don't either anymore. It's once per day. That's for long rest.
This is not a
Don't
level
worry
1
about it.
adventure.
Don't worry about it. Go over there.
I can hurt myself to heal others too.
That's a
the thing.
terrible idea.
How do you
Then
do
you'd be
that?
unconscious again.
Could I do like 1 and be 0? Is 0 unconscious? Or 0
Zero's
just-
unconscious.
I think. I mean, there's no way we can heal.
I'll tell you how. 24 hours after you are unconscious but stable, you regain 1 hit point, which is exactly what happened with Rana.
Right.
And if you have no means to resuscitate
wait
your
10 minutes.
inographil, just
Yeah,
wait
yeah.
5 minutes and
Oh,
he's
you
going to
got-
be up with 1 hit point. Feeling really bad about himself.
I
Oh
think
man.
we all feel bad about.
Oh, I
ourselves.
feel so bad about myself.
As do I.
How are we? Gonna
There's
get...
also sorry. There's an I'm sorry card that's written in snake and it's in the grass
No,
by
this is too silly now. Hold on. I'm sorry.
mean,
by this snake.
I'm
Snakes were
kidding.
injured, right?
I'm joking. Yes, they were injured.
Yeah, I mean to say that how. So your healing touches once per day.
Once per long rest.
So, I mean, realistically, we should probably just go back to town and rest and wait until the next day to come back, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I think
So
Talia...
we all hobble and limp our level 1 characters
Yeah. Yeah.
back to town, and we realized that our hubris, what had happened.
Well, in all fairness, your hubris. I snuck up. I was good.
It's true. I did look in a well. What was I thinking?
How dare you? How dare you look in that well?
It was everyone's hubris. The
You're just
GM's
lucky they
hubris,
weren't
our
window snakes,
hubris.
Okay? They could have been window snakes. I'm just
I
saying.
I probably should have performed some small modifications to the adventure as written, and we'll take this forward into the adventure by recalculating the CR of these encounters.
We just need to recalibrate ourselves.
Yeah.
Recalibrate
I remember playing
everything.
like this when I was a kid, and it was like this back in like the,
Yeah.
80s.
I think the only thing that's wrinkling my brain is that the snakes just stopped eating us. Even if a rock fell off the roof and killed one, I'd be more happy.
How big were the snakes?
Medium size.
Giant. I thought you said they were
Bigger than
giant.
you.
Yeah, they're giant poisonous snakes, so they're about human size.
Yeah.
Did we kill one? We did kill one. Right?
No, I
No.
hurt one.
We hurt one. Wow.
You bloodied one.
I mean,
We were
snakes are really
pretty-
fucking cool in that if they have anything in their stomach, they typically don't eat again, and they will go like long spans, like weeks at a time without eating until they're ready to eat. And like if they have food lying around at that point, then they'll eat it.
That's what I'm picturing.
So what we're thinking is more along the lines of like Frodo when
Yeah.
he wakes up in the spider lair. That
Yeah.
we were meant to be consumed later.
Exactly.
I can wrap my head around that.
That's what I'm picturing.
I picture that too, and I feel so glad to have pictured that.
I feel like as long as that's explained to us by some... So Talia wakes up and she's going to do a nature roll,
Do it, Talia.
which is a natural 19.
You know all
Get
about
it.
poisonous
And
snakes.
she looks around and says, I think
am
we
I
got lucky
doing?
here. These snakes, they must have eaten. They seemed very lethargic and slow for the most part. We need to go back to town right away and rest up. Otherwise, we're not going to make it through this house. And Talia sort of scurries back over all the bones, I'm assuming. There must be like other remnants around here.
Well, so that's interesting because if you had performed some perception checks prior to getting to the well, you would find a cluster of small animal remains in the tall
How
grass.
dare you, Chris, look in the well and not look around the well a few inches?
That's fair.
How would he notice that? How would he look down and not notice other... I'm not saying it's you. I'm saying it's an 80s module where they're like...
I know.
Like, it's specifically said if they look around versus in.
Yeah.
It's
I think it's
ridiculous.
clear that I'm going to have to do a little bit of modification.
No, I think we need another player in this.
I like
you know?
this. No, I like a game that's a little bit like.
It's punishing.
Yeah.
I'm going
I don't
to
want the
play
TPK.
people.
I just want
a little
the...
bit shy as a paladin.
Mhm.
Flinchy. He's afraid of snakes. He thinks there's snakes everywhere. wherever
Good.
he
You
looks.
gain one snake phobia.
Snake phobia. That's what I'm
Regardless, I think we all head back to town, like, a little bit sullen. And Talia's like, I don't have a place to sleep tonight. Does anyone have a place? Or maybe they could pay for a room? I don't have any more money.
Unfortunately, my place isn't really accessible by you.
And then we both look towards the gnome.
As far as I know, I still have a home.
The fuck kind of answer is that?
He just goes to a little
Yes,
mound.
of course,
and
of
he-
course. You may all spend the night in my home.
He puts his
I
top
will-
half into a hole of dirt, and we're like, all right.
You
Yeah,
guys.
no, please spend the night at mine, and I will make some food, and we will have a fire, and it will be
You
wonderful.
have a house?
Don't
Yeah,
know.
sure.
Yeah,
He's got a house.
Sure.
He lives
See?
here.
Joe said I do.
Oh, well, let's just live there. Can I stay with you for a few weeks? I don't need money anymore.
Adventure over.
Maybe you're renting a room
The
or something. at
adventure was
tavern?
called
Yeah,
Find
I
a
don't know.
Roommate.
And realize
That's
we're
what the
not-
real flyer was.
Yeah,
for real.
exactly. No, that's great.
Looking for a roommate.
Oh, maybe that's the reason you were tagging it around is because on the back was like someone's
Roommate wanted.
Yeah.
All
Call-
the bottoms are ripped.
call
all
this
the little
number.
phone numbers. I'm gonna head back to the bar because I feel like that would be the most logical thing. And I think Talia will go up to the bartender and the inn owner and be like, "Look, I don't have money, but I promise you." And she looks like totally drained.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like,
Bruno, when you come in, he's like, "What the fuck happened to you?"
if I can have one night on the tab, I promise you I'll pay it tomorrow.
Yeah. That's okay. I know you're good for it.
Oh, I don't even have to roll persuasion. It's the best. And I
Yeah,
walk
don't
up.
even worry about it.
And and Talia heads up to her familiar room and just like flunks down on the bed. And before she goes, she's like, well, here, sleep in my room tonight. There's room on the floor.
Cute.
To the gnome and to the Triton. I have to write it down.
So the cool thing about D&D recouping your shit is that when you long rest, so that's 8 hours, you just get everything back. There's no need to roll for HP or anything like that with Pathfinder. All of your temporary abilities and whatnot, all of your expendables get recouped, except for any kind of status changes, whether that's like illness or petrification or whatever the fuck.
If
Those
we're
obviously
poisoned,
have to be.
Joe, I would be dispelling the poison with lay hands upon after long rests.
I love it, but you're not. So
You're not poisoned. Okay.
the next day dawns.
You wake up and you hear Talia like whispering. And as you two look over, I feel like you guys are sleeping on the floor for some reason. Like we're all just sharing my little room. And
Slumber party.
Talia is like whispering to her bag, which is like open. You can't see what's in it, but it's like clearly lying on its side and the skull is just facing out. She's like, no, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't my fault. Don't you said it. And then she like catches. Actually, I'll roll perception to see if like she hears you guys stirring. No, with a 4. And she's just like whispering at this open bag. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Don't talk to me like that. That's it.
Talia, who are you talking to?
Don't. And you just like hear her shut the bag, and she rolls over. She's like, nothing. I was thinking last night. That was a bad start. Look, we lucked out. Is the truth of it. Snakes, as we know, only feed once, like every 24 hours. And if those 2 snakes had been hungry, we wouldn't be here. But I think we're not wrong in wanting to get this done. I think, most importantly, I think if we can do this, we can get some real money, but be real adventurers. And I want to try again. First thing this morning. What do you say? You're not too scared, are you?
Of course not. That was absolutely exhilarating. I thought for sure we were going to die, and then we didn't. And I think that's pretty good luck. And now we know there's snakes there. We know not to go near the well.
Chris just typed in the chat, I really want the money in the well.
Go back. Yeah, I didn't realize how dangerous this would be. I don't know if I can go back yet. Perhaps I'm not the adventurer I thought I was.
That's not true. Listen, this is part of what makes us powerful. We can't give up at the first time we have a little bit of resistance. All we need to do is learn how to work together a little more. Now, look, I'm a close fighter. I need to be in. But I was dumb. I used my bonus action to stand there instead of disengaging like I should have. And you, our gnome friend, you seem to be able to fire from a great distance. Maybe if you keep a good space between you and whatever's at there, then you don't have to worry about being beaten either. And obviously, trumpsing up to the well wasn't your fault. But now that we know there are dangers about every corner, we'll take it slow and we'll take it smart, and we can do this.
I think that's a great lesson for all of us, that there are strategery ideas here, strategies, otherwise known as, that you guys can take advantage of and use
absolutely.
the mechanics
I
of
think
the
most
game.
importantly, we haven't had a conversation about what tactics.
And I think you tried to do that originally.
I did,
but
it's also fun role playing. But now I am curious what spells you have. So you have Eldritch Blast, which is what's the range on it?
120 feet.
Holy fuck! So you could be up the hill firing at these things. Okay, so that's game changing right there. What's the damage on Eldritch Blast?
It is a D10.
Yeah, that's double. That's almost double what I do. So that's crazy. That's great.
Yeah.
You are sword and shield. What's your AC?
I have the javelin as well for a ranged attack.
Yeah. Honestly,
AC 18.
So everyone, I start with 10 gold pieces. Role-playing wise, I was just playing my character without money because I like the motivation. Can I bequeath that 10 gold pieces narratively to one of the other players? Because
of course you can.
Talia's next question is, look, I, meta, didn't want to use a short bow. but I think it makes more sense to have both options, especially starting at level 1. I was wondering maybe if I could borrow a little bit of coin, and maybe we could stop by a shop in town, and I could get a bow. Because again, with 8 hit points...
Oh, you want to hit up one of your party members for some gold.
Yeah. I mean, so whatever you guys might have, add 10 to it for free, obviously. But a bow is 25 gold pieces. Does anyone have enough money?
So I have 12 gold pieces, so I can give that to the cause. I have 2 gems, which are worth 10 gold piece each.
Where'd you get these gems?
They were on my character sheet from
Probably
day one.
Story.
That's awesome. And you guys can also swap equipment around. You know, you can use anything that you want. If you're not proficient in its use, you just don't add your proficiency modifier when you're using it. So
you're a warlock, you said?
Yeah.
So you start with I think it's your class that gives you money, right?
Correct. It's your background that gives you money.
What's your background?
Background.
Yes.
I am a sage.
Excellent.
Sage. So your sage gives you
Oh, Harlan's already on it.
a bottle of black ink. Yeah, 10 gold pieces. So you have a bottle of black ink, a quill, a small knife, a letter from a dead colleague posing a question you have not been able to answer, a set of common clothes, and 10 gold pieces.
Oh, cool.
So why don't we just do this? Why don't we get a big rock and we'll just put it on the well and wait a couple months, and then we'll come back.
Well,
we'll just invest.
I like that.
So Talia says, please, if I could borrow some gold, we could buy a bow, and at the very least we'd have options.
I don't think... I hope you don't intend to fight the snakes again. As long as we're clear as a party, I don't want to fight the snakes.
Meta, we can take those snakes like that if we play it smart. I think we got caught off guard. But realistically, with 120 feet, those snakes maximum are going to move 30 feet. That gives him 3 rounds of firing. He could stand on the top of the hill and just fire 3 rounds before those snakes get to him, literally, if we wanted to cheese it. So mechanically, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
And frankly, I'm assuming this is going to be leveling up XP based on kills, or is it stories? Have you?
So this adventure gives me essentially what level you should proceed to by the end of the adventure. I can make it happen XP based, but I was going to do it. What is the other way called again? Not landmark, but essentially
Milestone.
Thank you very much. Milestone based XP.
We could say XP based, and then we could just be a hunting party for the first few games if you guys want. I don't know. I mean, I think if we play it tactically, I think we can do really good. I think Eldritch Blast is a slam dunk. I think, especially now that I didn't realize you had healing, Chris. Especially now that you have healing, I think that's a slam dunk too. What do you guys think?
I think we'll be fine now that we're gonna be tactical about it. Because I think
I don't think character-wise, not because I'm afraid of snakes. That's just flavor. The reality is I'm a paladin, and the snakes aren't necessarily evil. They're just snakes that were trying to eat something. So why would
these ones are?
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's kill those snakes for sure.
Because they took something important to me. One of my daggers, I think.
My short bow.
Well, the reason you went up to the well is because you thought maybe there was another way into the place, right?
I did, and I did see something at the bottom of the well.
So you know what? Look, we can't run away. And even if these snakes might not be evil, I think it's important that we go back and we finish the work that we did the first time. So please, if I could borrow 25 gold pieces, I think I should buy a short bow and then we'll head there. Oh, then I guess I need ammo too.
I give him the 25 gold pieces. I give him my 2 gems, which is 20 gold pieces, and then another 5 gold pieces.
Wow.
Thank you.
Good guy.
That's
Triton.
the kind of guy Rana is. Not me. I would never do that.
Cool.
Okay, now I have ranged much better. And I'll buy a quiver too, obviously, but
Sick.
maybe the shop owner can lend it to me. I'll borrow money from Dice Shame. Red's got tons.
All right, so you do some shopping. You sort of reassess over a morning bowl of gruel. You reassess your strategies for how you want to tackle this haunted mansion.
Yeah, and I think we should go back there and take out those things. One at a time, take our time. What do you think?
Yes.
I'm game.
And we know where they're there. They're not going to surprise us.
I mean, that was the biggest thing. They had a huge advantage. All right.
So,
and, yeah.
You guys travel back to the house again. It's starting to become a path that you recognize. You travel these cliffs along the shores of this ocean back to this deserted house. It looks like it's dilapidated, about to fall in on itself. And you see again this well and an overgrown garden where you spent the better part of 24 hours unconscious. What would you like to do?
I walk up to the well.
No,
Yes, you look
not
in?
yet.
I stand exactly 120 feet away from the well.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to stand 80 feet away from the well because that's the range of my short bow.
Cool.
So the gnome is like on this hill behind. I'm like 80 feet there. I have the bow string taut.
Are you guys like in a line or sort of, 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock?
Yeah,
or
like
what's...
probably 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock or something. So we have like a bit of a
Great.
angle.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm
And
going to wait by the gnome and then be ready to attack for when they're about 30 yards away.
Well, you should wait by me because I can hide as a halfling behind big creatures, and I believe once I'm hidden, I attack with advantage if they don't see me. And if I have
know what?
advantage, I can do sneak attack.
I'm only a medium creature.
I can still hide behind. I can still hide behind him.
Are you a small creature?
I don't know.
I'm a
What's a
medium.
halfling? Oh, halfling. medium?
Gnomes are medium.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. So I can only hide behind large creatures. Damn. Well, you know what? Then I'm going to get behind a wall or a tree so that I have the option to hide and then possibly attack with advantage.
Yeah, the garden is very overgrown. You can easily find a dense patch of some kind of taller shrubbery that you can hide yourself within.
But I'm definitely going to be 80 feet away.
Yeah, Talia, you're 80 feet away. You're in Ografil, you're 120 feet away up a little bit of a hill so you can get decent range on these creatures.
Yes, excellent.
And Rana, you are...
Well, is the idea that we're just going to try to bombard them and move and attack and move? And
I think
attack
you're
and move?
kiting them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's do that. So I'll go 30 feet away.
Great. So you are 30 feet away. Everyone roll initiative.
Let's do
Let's get this
it.
party started.
So I keep pulling out dice and rolling them, and then I'm pulling them out of my dice tray to look at the number of what I rolled, and then I don't know where I'm setting my dice. So this is my fourth dice of the game.
Good start. I mean, good continuation. Talia, what'd you get?
14.
Nice. Rana,
16.
and you're an Ografil.
16.
Who wants to go first?
I have a -1 to dexterity, so we'll give it to your.
The way that 5th edition rolls with tied initiative is the players get to pick. When you guys...
I think Paladin makes sense.
So
Great.
He's going to be the one to piss them off anyway, so.
Yeah.
So, Rana, it's your turn. You're 30 feet away from this well, and you have evil, or I guess you have the intention of murdering snakes. What do you do?
I waft a scent to them because they're so familiar with the deliciousness of my body. Are they? So
Actually-
are they in the well still? I can see.
You don't see them anywhere.
He did have a legit question earlier on. Do these snakes breathe water?
Roll a nature check for me.
Well, I try to speak to them, and that will be.
Oh, that would be the way. That's right. Yeah, because he can speak with...
They can't speak back to me, but I say to the snakes. I say, "You unlawful beasts, come out and face your comeuppance." Wow, I gotta learn how to talk like a
Snakes
paladin.
hate that.
So he says...
Yeah, not my comeuppance.
So aquatic beasts have an extraordinary affinity with your people. This is the Triton. You can communicate simple ideas with beasts that breathe underwater, or that can breathe water. They can understand the meaning of your words, though you have no special ability to understand them in return.
All right, so basically the meaning was, I want to fight you, snake.
Great. What is it? Are you shouting in common, or is this like a weird burbling sound? Or you're hissing at them
Ooh, Harry Potter style.
loudly enough to reach down into the well from 30 feet away?
I am a Triton. We are great people. So.
I know you are.
But what am I?
And I throw a rock to the boot to try to get it in the well.
You throw rocks at the well?
Yeah.
Cool.
As I'm saying all this stuff.
I like
Fuck
that.
you. By the
That-
way, I'm hiding,
Oh, okay.
just to make that crystal.
Roll stealth check for me.
They
Oh,
literally.
wait, sorry. I'm going to roll on here.
Can I do a perception check? Because maybe they're not in the well right now. They're just like.
They're right behind you.
17.
Great. You do it. So, Rana, you scream insults in snake language and throw rocks at the well. And in response, you see 2 dastardly snake heads poke their way up out of the well, and they let themselves down from the stony home that they call their own.
I would like to hurl a javelin at the first one I see.
Do so.
Steal.
He's also supposed to be 30 feet away. On the map, Chris has not done it, so we've drawn it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it. I did it.
All right, so I don't think it hits because I got a 5 plus.
That's a good...
I tend to hit.
Good instinct. Your javelin flies wide. It actually falls down into the well.
Well, I'll be getting that in a bit.
Hole in one.
Good aiming, though.
Great aiming.
There's another snake down there.
That's right.
It's baby. Now it's pissed.
That's right. You're an Ografil. What do you do?
I'll just blast.
Blast him.
Do it.
I blast them.
And I started blasting.
All right.
And then I started
Can I kite back 30 feet?
You absolutely can. Yeah, so you're 60 feet away.
16 to hit.
That hits.
Nice.
How much damage you dealing?
All of it.
I'm going to deal 9 damage.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
You almost murder a snake.
Good job.
Excellent.
That's what
Eat shit, snake.
I
I'll
like
go back to town with like snakeskin boots on. Be like, yeah.
Wonderful. I love it. Talia, it's your turn.
I'm going to pop out from cover and try to fire.
Do it.
Now, because I was hiding, do I have advantage?
Yeah, they don't know where you are.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Now, because I was hiding and I have advantage on this attack, that means I get to use my sneak attack.
That's correct.
And because I rolled a natural 20, I roll all my damage dice twice. So I'm going to roll 4d6.
Wonderful. Did you say you're attacking the damaged snake or the
I'll
healthy
attack
snake?
the new one now.
I'm sure you will.
I rolled
Max
max on the second. I rolled 8 on the first 2, and then I rolled 12 on the second. So that's 20 damage plus 3.
Okay.
So 23 damage on the second snake.
Good. You killed 2 snakes worth of damage. So what does it look like when you kill this first snake?
Yeah.
This is the one that knocked you unconscious.
Yeah,
You know, you
so
see it in
Talia
its eyes.
Pops up and she lets this arrow loose, and the snake like goes and opens its mouth as the arrow goes right through the back and pins it against the wall of the well. And then the other snake's like,
Precisely. All of this happens.
gets nervous.
Yeah, it does. You see the snake get nervous. An anime sweat bead appears on its forehead. And then the snake charges at Rana. It charges you, Rana, 60 feet. The snake gets right up in your business. But it has... Yeah, it runs. It's going to use its whole movement, and then it's going to use its action to dash. So it's within melee range of you, but it doesn't have any attack juice left. So it's just panting there at your
Snakes
feet.
have attack
Turn
juice.
himself into a wheel and just rolled at
That's
me.
right. Yeah, so this snake slithers 60 feet on its turn, and now it is your turn. Rana, what do you do?
You should know let us live.
I'm going to assume to draw my sword. Is that an action?
That's free.
Oh, okay, but to put on the shield, it's an action, right? In that case,
I think it's a bonus action to put your shield on.
I think it's a full action. I'm gonna, but whatever, I'll take it as a bonus action. I'm gonna take my longsword and two-handed attack it.
Do it, coward.
Okay. It's like
You're not a coward. Don't listen to her. She's a bully.
All right. It's a weird reverse of what's normal. 17 to hit.
You hit it. How much damage do you do?
1d10 plus 3.
Nice. Kill it.
Do it.
Let's see. You could do it right here.
Kill it with fire.
8 points of damage.
Yeah. What does it look like when you murder this snake?
Yes.
Okay. So it rolls at me. It slithers, gets up like a.
It's
like
so fast. Yeah.
And it opens its mouth, and I shriek back a little bit. I see that the other two gnomes, the gnome and the other. Are you a halfling?
I'm a halfling.
Halfling and gnome are looking up at me as if I'm tall and thus powerful, and I jab this longsword into the throat and.
Yeah. It sort of like writhes and shudders and sprays dark blood all over you, and then goes limp and falls from your blade. You've done it!
We did it!
And Talia puts the bow on her back and begins walking down towards towards Rana and says, "All right, let us be a lesson that we can do this." And Meta, nothing. I mean, even if I had not attacked with the bow, we would have been able to do this with tactics. So Joe is such a different GM than me that I forget how important we have to be.
I don't want
tactics.
to like baby this down because this is a level 1 adventure right now.
No, I know.
But that doesn't mean that you can't die. So, you know.
I mean, snakes in a well that are poisonous is stupid module wise, but I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, we did this, guys. Well done, boys. And she wraps her arms around each of you again and says,
Being that it's an 80s module, I cut the snakes open and check the stomachs because I remember doing that.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, it's definitely something in the stomachs. What's in the snake's belly?
You find
It's
two.
Old Man Withers. Hello.
It's phones, Richie.
You find 10
everything?
healing potions and a disguise kit and a magical. You find 1 silver piece.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yep.
Can we harvest the poison at all, or is that not a thing?
You can. You're gonna have to make a sleight of hand check.
I could do it.
Do it.
I do have sleight of hand. Did you really want this poison? I'll do it.
Can we
If you...
nice to poison some of your arrows, or
That's not a bad idea. You know what?
Cool.
Not that ghosts need poison, but I'll try it.
So roll a nature check for me to see that you know enough about snake parts.
milk a snake?
Natural 20.
Fuck yeah, you know exactly where these things are. So roll your sleight of hand with advantage because you know so much about snake parts.
All right, here we go. Talia rolls up her little sleeves.
You gotta find the little snake udders.
And she's like, and she's like, all right, I got this. And she turns, she's like, hits her bag again. I got this. All right, and she rolls up her sleeves with a 15 plus sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Fuck yeah. You get 2 healthy, juicy poison sacs out of this creature's, what is it, like a Jacobson organ or something? No, that's the smell apparatus that they have. Anyway, doesn't matter. You know all about it, and you do it, and you have 2 little healthy bladders full of snake poison. So I'm going to treat that as a dose of poison. I believe that means that you can, as a bonus action, apply that to a blade of your choice, and then
weapon.
that's going to
Nice.
deal poison damage for, I think it's just the 1 hit that you use.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll put it in my bag. And as I do, you see for the first time, oh yeah, I'll wait. She's about to put it in her bag as the Triton is sort of moving to the well.
Well, this is the reason I wanted to look in here before all that horrible things happened. And I gingerly look over the edge this time. Oh no, okay. Oh.
4 more snakes jump out at you.
All right, so I look down the well and I see something shining down there that I remember from before.
You do. The glint of coins
The glint of your own reflection.
through the shallow water at the bottom
Is
of the
there a
well.
rope to the well?
No, there isn't. It appears like maybe there once was, but it's rotted through. So you can climb down the well using the rocky walls as natural handholds.
I do that.
You do it, and you do great. You don't need to roll an athletics check. It's pretty easy climb. And when you make it down, you're about hip deep in clean, fresh water. At the bottom of the well, you're dragging your hands through the silt. You come up with 4 gold pieces and 6 silver pieces.
Nice. Who wants to be
Tidy little haul.
Who wants to be game coin master?
Quartermaster?
No, coin, like in charge of all the loot.
Yeah, that's
James?
quartermaster.
I can do loot. I have a spreadsheet going.
You want to do loot?
Hey. Awesome. So, do you want to do anything else while you're down on the well?
I don't think so. I think
Smash all the snake eggs.
Yeah, no, I definitely get out of the well as quickly as possible.
Great. You emerge.
And as you do, you see Talia's just putting the vials away or the glands away, and you see for the first time as she has her like bag open, the gnome. You sort of approach and as the Triton does too, and you see that there's this skull, this like human skull, and she sort of feels like she's alone for a second, and you see her talk to it. She's like, "No, it doesn't matter. We're gonna be fine." And then she like deer in headlights stares at the 2 of you. Oh, is there anything in the well?
I flip the coins to you, and I say, I found these coins. I don't know if it was worth the trouble, but I do feel better now that we've avenged ourselves.
It was a learning experience for sure.
Me too. I'm happy. These snakes aren't necessarily evil, but you didn't see a way in the house, did you?
No, unfortunately, it's just a shallow well.
All right. Well, I suppose we should move inside then.
And with a crack of thunder and dark clouds rolling in on the horizon, the three of you look up at this decrepit, haunted mansion and wonder what further surprises lie in store for you within.